She has some exciting new stuff we'll show at the end of this breakdown that literally wouldn't have been possible before the cameo system.
Oh, wow.
Let's take a look at the queen.
Okay.
All right, so let's start with some of the basics. Two cool things about her in this game is she has these cool VFX, like this purple energy, and then the use of her hair.
Regal purple.
Absolutely.
Yep. Forward force back, guys. The memories.
She has really good range, as you'd imagine someone with magical long hair. And there's a couple normals I really wanted to talk about. First is forward 4, which kind of takes out of the page of the last game, and it's like kind of her main mid-range tool you want to get in, use to get in.
And that's a mid, right?
Yes. And it's pretty quick, but it has a really neat new follow-up. She jumps into the air, it's a low combo starter, and she can actually control how far she goes. She can do this close version, and actually land right in front of them, far version. Or she can just do it by itself, go in for a throw.
The mix
That's
up.
a wrap.
Thank you. Go for this cool low. Or one of her block strings. Another normals is back 2, which leads into an overhead, and she can combo into it, or you can do back 2 by itself and actually be airborne. Let's go over the special moves.
So back to isn't going to be a pop-up anymore.
The classic, the scream, the iconic,
Nice.
quintessential Sindel.
No meter either.
Still one of her best combo starters. It stuns. They can't hear anything for a while. She's going to get a free hit. You can kind of do it at mid-range if you think you caught them sleeping, not blocking. Like I said, it's great to hit confirm. It's
With punish.
Exactly.
I just
right.
throw it out all the time.
All the time. Then let's go over fireballs, which are always one of the most important kind of key things about her offense. She has high hairball, low hairball.
Which is in the moves list.
Yes, that's canonical.
I just want to shout out real quick that Living Forest remastered
New
song.
to this game is it's a straight,
sounds
very
sick.
quick fireball. It is not the downward arc it has previously done. You can do it really low to the ground and it's quick, and I think it's pretty effective. Look at that, I still got it.
She can
The EX
instant
versions
air
have some
fireball.
interesting properties. So, straight one, oops, the straight one will actually eat up fireballs.
Okay.
So if you use a bar meter in zoning war, you'll actually beat out their projectile. And the low ones are really neat. So she adds that little hair whip at the beginning, and up close, actually a hit that will pop them up. Things in the corner, you can do cool stuff.
Wait a minute. Ah, okay, okay.
Get a combo. Oh my god. There we go. Maybe I don't still have it.
Nice.
I think you do.
Thank you. So it's neat. It turns this pure zoning tool up close into an actual offensive tool.
So 2 different ways you can use it.
Exactly.
Both equally cool.
You can also use that with your mix-ups, which gets to the next tool, her cartwheel, the overhead, straight from MK9. If you EX it, it has armor, it's really good up close, it's great as a wake-up attack, you can use it after a move like this, you can mix it up with low, her sweep, and a really fun down 3. Look at that.
So like for me when I play against you, you really have to be paying attention because one of the moves is a mid, the other is an overhead.
Exactly.
They look different, but you have to
Yes.
you can't be on autopilot.
Right. And then lastly, she has the classic levitate. If she can float in the air, she can drop straight down. So like for example, you're trying to zone, we can use standing low fireballs to go under your hairball. Not very effective to low fireball when you're literally not touching the ground.
Right.
She can also cancel it, and she can do fun cancels. Like for example, she can do the back 2,
Yep, there it is.
airborne, go into flight.
That's what
and
we
if
were
you
waiting
EX
for.
it, it's actually significantly faster. And she has some true block strings that they won't be able to interrupt.
Got it.
Now let's talk about how this can play into her cameo. I have chosen, oops, set it to all. I have chosen
Sareena as well.
Sareena, who we got a little taste of in the last trailer, but now we're actually going to show her moves. So her first attack is the blade. It's a very quick projectile. You can see the cooldown is pretty
Kano-like.
quick.
Yeah, except it is
And
quicker.
she also has Kia's blades. She goes full demon, throws multiple, they come back, and this actually leads into combos. So you can do
Of course
fun
it
stuff.
does. Holy.
To confirm that.
Even with
into
the
a full combo.
That did look fun.
It is fun.
That
Even
took
with
it
the
really
wait
good up in
time.
the air.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
In a
I
lot of
mean,
ways. She also has her demon up kick, which is a great wake up attack. It's invincible. It's really quick. You can also use it as an anti-air. And then lastly, she has a fourth move. Every cameo has at least 3, and some might have more. So she's one of those. Jakata's Curse. She puts
that's
this
right, it's
rune
this
on the ground, and while the opponent is standing in it, let's set it to default.
They lose meter.
Liu Kang's meter's being
Okay.
drained pretty quick.
Yeah,
you can
pretty
see.
fast.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now this is an ambush move, which means you can do it while Sindel's doing other actions. So for example, while you have a combo going, you can summon her.
That's
Oh,
smart.
there's a lot of setups there.
Yep,
Yeah, so you can imagine
definitely.
you can use that in the corner, in the middle of your combo, have her coming out, drain your meter, stuff like that. She could even do nasty stuff like drain your meter so you can't break a combo in the middle of your combo.
She's not going to like breakers very much.
She does not, which is, let's maybe get into that a little bit more. So, let's go back to what we said earlier. Sindel has a couple of moves using the cameo system. So, Sindel in the lore, she's the queen. She has this commanding presence. She has, what the kids would say is Riz.
Oh, they would say that.
Oh, God.
Thank you. And, she could use that to actually command her cameo and maybe more. So let's start with this buff move. Once you activate it, while it's active, cooldown, it will be significantly faster for your cameo. So you can see normally, this move's already pretty quick. Once she has this active, it's even quicker, and Sareena, she is recovering so fast her cooldown, she could basically do that like almost indefinitely. So you can turn what normally would be kind of a limited use move into something that you can just use almost like any other special move. Or some of the other ones like Kia's Blades that have a pretty long cooldown, it's significantly faster when she has that active.
Okay.
She's giving herself up there.
Correct.
There is some, yeah.
Correct. But once she gets going, her cameo use is substantially better.
Yeah.
There's also an EX version with a really interesting twist. When she EX it, she's now commanding the opponent's cameo, and if the opponent tries to break, they will be stunned, and you get a reset instead. So let's show that again. I have the move active. The opponent goes for a breaker. You can see Sonya actually is like, gets the little head and, oh my god, I'm confused. And your breaker is not just disabled. Once you get that stun, they will be popped up and Sindel gets a full reset.
Got it.
No breakers allowed.
Couple ways to avoid them, seems
Yes.
like for her.
There's also another really interesting move I'd like to show. So for this one, Sindel can take control of an opponent's cameo and stun them. So for example, I will call it out,
Oh.
and Sonya is actually dizzy.
Yep.
If Sindel is in the middle of doing this move, where she points, while the cameo's out, so you have to do it on a read, the cameo is stunned for this entire length of time and cannot be summoned.
Okay.
There's also an EX version. With this version, Sonya will leave the screen and I gain control of her. And I actually get a free use of either of the cameos moves of my choosing. So for example, I now have Square Wave. And that use of
you can
cameo,
pick any of them.
Correct.
Not just
Any
the one
of
they were
Sonya's
doing.
moves. Right.
Got it.
I have control over it for a pretty good amount of time, and it does not cost any kind of cooldown or anything. So you could actually do stuff like I could summon Sonya to start leg grab to go into a combo, and then go into Sareena's demon like anti-air move to end the combo if I wanted. You could even use 3 cameo moves in one combo if you wanted to.
People are gonna have some fun in training mode.
I was just about to say that.
It's really, really neat, and it's something that's
All
gonna
these characters.
how effective and the way you use it's gonna change on what the opponent's cameo is.
She's basically Shujinko but cameo.
Cool.
4
Yeah.
cameos.
Do we want to do Fatal Blow? Is that all?
I think that's the best way we can finish, right?
Let's do it.
Super Saiyan is what they call it now, so it makes sense.
Oh yeah, the
Crazy,
big hair is
super cool.
amazing.
It's a nice Sareena Fatal Blow. Of course, we've already seen this one. That hurts.
That is a nasty one.
Yeah, the leg pull. I feel that. Yeah,
It's
that's
definitely amongst the most brutal in the game, I think.
pretty bad. I mean, good, bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Cool. You want to move on to Rain?
I think so.
Again, as we were talking about Sindel,
After all
who is
these
Rain?
years.
Who plays Rain? What players play them?
I think Rain's always been kind of a flashy character that appeals to people that like to hit buttons.
Yeah.
Rain's, though, quite a bit different in this game. Rain has traditionally been a ninja. In this game, in Liu Kang's new era, he's been completely reimagined as a mage. He's the high mage in Sindel's court, and his moveset has substantially changed. There will be little hints and fun nods to the previous versions of Rain, like you'd expect,
Right.
but he's going to be one of the more radically altered characters, and I think it's an interesting new take. So,
And like we've done in the new era, like all the characters will have, they're still somewhat who you know. There's still stuff that's
Right.
going to bring you back
Right.
to them that you loved using when you were younger.
yes.
But they've definitely changed.
Yeah, he
So,
probably has like mostly new moves to go with his new role, like his new power set. It's pretty neat, so let's check it out.
let's do it.
This will be interesting to look at.
So you'll notice right off the bat, he has a new weapon, which is his wizard staff. And he uses it in most of his normal attacks. And he is definitely now much less of a physical fighter than he ever has been before. He is a very powerful mage, and he
I
uses
just
it
realized.
in most of his attacks.
He's basically Aquaman from Injustice. I
A
didn't
couple
even think of
normals I
that.
really wanted to talk about. Like you can see even his sweep. Instead of using his foot, he literally uses his water staff. This is definitely
I love
coolest
the
move.
kick up,
It's-
the
it's
kick
so
up.
good.
And you'll notice the water leaves the top, gets in there, and then comes back to the top.
Right. I absolutely love it. So let's start off with a couple normals I really wanted to show. His forward 2, forward 2, 1, 3 is just like really good range mid, pretty quick. He's also got forward 3, which is an overhead, into a double overhead, and he gets a pop-up.
Nice pop-up.
That'll be one of his most important, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, look at that.
And
Ooh.
then one other normal I really wanted to show was a standing 4, which, even though he's no longer a ninja, he's still
Wait.
has tremendous leg strength.
Right.
So
Wait a
strong that he can
minute.
actually kick you across the world. Now this is an interesting one, because if you hold it,
Okay, so it's like the
He gets a
enhanced
combo.
version if you hold it. Interesting.
and he can also cancel out of the hold to fake you out.
Okay.
Okay, I see it.
There you go. See, I'm good. And let's check out his throw, which is a nice nod to the classic water bubble. He goes in with you, and then
Oh,
you
nice.
burst out.
We'll take that. We'll take that.
So you can see his normal attacks are very fresh and different. And I think the water effects are awesome.
Having the
So you
super
wanna
kick
go into
as
his
just
special moves?
4 is
So.
insane.
So he has some really interesting zoning tools. I mean, some might even call him a premier zoner. And let's start with his straight projectile, which takes up a ton of real estate, is fairly quick, and has some interesting ways that you can change it.
Also,
He EX
Stryker
it,
has cameo.
He gets a full knockdown.
Wonder
You can
why.
actually hold it down and get a stagger.
Oh, okay. You can combo into that.
And you can actually cancel out of this hold down. So you can mix up doing the move,
Time. Yeah.
doing different timings, doing the EX, or canceling out of it. Keep the opponent guessing. When you have a projectile like that that takes up a ton of space, what's the one thing you know the opponent's going to try to do to beat it?
Jump?
Jump. And that's not going to be super effective because he has an anti-air version. And this has a very neat EX that actually allows him to pop up for combos.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's pretty cool. Again, it makes a full screen projectile become kind of an offensive tool up close.
She's doing
Now,
this on a
one thing
PlayStation
would
controller,
be,
by the way.
Well, what happens if they're using projectiles against him? And he has a water bubble where he surrounds himself in water, and any projectile is going to be negated. It'll actually just be destroyed when it hits the water bubble. And this is something that he can set up, go behind,
Okay.
go in the middle
he can
of.
move
Works
around
as a
with
shield.
Exactly. But if you EX it, it surrounds him and travels with him.
Nice.
Kind of walk him down.
Exactly. So then you can go in, do his lows, do his overhead, all that good stuff when he has the water shield on.
Gotcha.
Now, there's other ways you can get in. He could set these water portals, and he can set them anywhere he wants. And then he can actually warp through him.
Oh, okay.
So you could do cool stuff, like set one here,
Tactical
go
insertion
in
type
when
stuff.
you want to get out, warp
Garrus
back to where you were.
from MK11
or,
type stuff.
when you're in, you can set one, do some fun zoning, and then use this to get back in.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Straight into combos, fun stuff like that. Now, once you've established that you're willing to teleport or throw out some of these fireballs, and the opponent's scared to move, you can start using the Whirlpool. And he has close, medium, and far. These will go on the ground, and if the opponent walks into it, they get popped up for combos.
I don't think that combos into, unfortunately, but
I love how he just grabs the top of his staff and
Yes,
throws it down.
it is
Really
so cool looking. Another move he has is his Geyser. This is a pretty good advancing special he can 2 and 1 into, and if he EX it, it has armor. So it's a good wake-up attack, a good way to beat pressure,
I could definitely see the pressure side of
and I
it.
think it'll be one of his best combo enders.
Combo
And then
enders,
lastly,
they say. Okay.
one more awesome
Good to
full
know.
range move that kind of shows the full extent of his power.
Ooh, okay. I was questioning about the
And this is a
lightning.
move that he can actually hold,
Similar to Ermac, okay. And it's a pop-up.
cancel, and just drop down.
Ooh, I
So you
like
can do
that.
stuff like
Okay.
doing your water ball, and what's called it a fireball, and it's literally the opposite of that. Go
I already
into
like this new ring. This is sick.
Take out the opponent. Immediately drop down. You can set up. You can do all kind of stuff. Set up portals. Be doing that Thunder God move. Cancel it. Go through the portal.
There we
Just
go.
all kind of options full screen. I think he's going to be a really interesting character to kind of freeze them up full screen to get in and start doing his mix-ups. And speaking of the mix-ups, let's kind of show how he can use his cameo and go with that. I assigned him Stryker because I think a cop teaming with a wizard is the exact kind of thing you'd see in Mortal Kombat,
sure.
right? So the first thing I'll show with Stryker is he has his grenade toss. Straight out of MK3.
Eat this.
Comes in, throws the double grenades. They can either go low or high. And you can imagine, these are ambush moves, which means
I like how
they
there's
can
some
come out
lights.
while
too.
Rain
That's
is
funny.
doing his attacks. So you can do stuff like you're doing your straight
Ease.
water beam while he's doing his grenades. They can also aid you in combos. So you can do stuff like
Nice.
Got it.
Stryker also has a set of baton moves. He's got Cat Bop, where he comes in and does an overhead, and the classic baton sweep from MK3. So these are lows and overheads. So,
Got
great
access
example.
to both of them.
Yes. So, one thing you could do, you got your overhead, the opponent's stand blocking all the time because they don't want to get popped up. What am I supposed to do? Sweep them.
Good point.
You can also do this in a string. So in overhead, you can do overhead, low. Then they get used to the timing. They're like, oh, I'm one of these like Ninja Killer or Sonic people with good reflexes. I can, I can fuzzy that. Then you start doing stuff like Cop Bop. Mix it up. So just from this 50,
I already see him as a
you can use
great
Stryker
character.
to have more 50-50s.
That's, so
like,
that's how you beat Sonic Fox.
That's the key. That's
Got it.
all you have to do.
Got
And
it.
like a famous football player once said, it's more than a 50-50.
Got it.
Lastly,
Until Sonic
Stryker
Fox plays
has
Rain and
one
Stryker.
more move, which I think is probably my favorite.
My favorite thing is he used a sports reference.
Well, sort of.
Half and half.
Stryker comes from behind and handcuffs you. And this gives you a
That's
reset.
a new one.
Then you get a bunch of advantage.
Okay,
and
but
you
it
go for
doesn't.
a mix-up.
You can't combo
Okay.
into it.
So you get into your combos with a handcuff move, then go in and continue your offense.
Yeah.
So like you could start a combo with your
It's more like
overhead,
pressure, okay.
Go into the handcuffs and then make them guess low.
Got it.
It's super
That's
fun.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's more for pressure. It's not really for combos.
So I think that's Rain and Stryker, and I maybe go into his Fatal Blow.
Let's take a look.
And I'll just say Stryker is my favorite Fatal Blow.
I agree.
Okay.
Cameo-wise, I think it's my favorite one so far. Haven't seen Reigns though. That's gonna be interesting to look at right now. Oh, nice! What a nice callback to that. Sick. That's so cool.
All right. That
Nice.
was Rain.
Yep.
I like this new version of Rain,
Very
honestly.
exciting. People get their hands on Rain soon. That'll be awesome.
He's definitely not washed up.
Nope. Some fresh moves
Jeez,
to make your opponent salty.
that was good.
Nice.
That was a good pun.
Let's move on. We're going to talk about General SHAO now, a character that I'm very excited about as a lover of big, bruising characters.
Yep.
He's still big and bruising. He's just the general now.
He's just a general. He is not the Emperor.
Right.
He's got a new weapon, new moveset.
A bit of a stance character, but I wouldn't say in the same vein as like a Kenshi.
Right.
But definitely when he has axe in his hand, axe out of his hand. When it's out of his hand, be careful when you're near the axe. That's all I'm going to say. Let's take a look at how he works. So, big thing, just to show, this is kind of the thesis statement, just swings for the fences.
He's a
right?
powerhouse.
This is back two. It has advantage. So if you're blocking, don't want to push any buttons probably. Push
Yeah,
the
I was
buttons
just
there.
jabbing.
Don't do that because you're going to get hit.
Right.
Great move there. This is a really quick, kind of almost get a little distance to it too. Like I can get you from there. Like really nice, kind of can lead in some combos.
Right.
Punishing move I like to use is this right here. Very fast, bounces them up. We can show some more stuff with that later, but obviously you can see there's some pathways with that move.
I also really like how his kick attacks are just either uses axe or he's just huge big boots.
Just like
Yeah,
standing
just-
big boot. And like a lot of people, I enjoy the two-player animation strings.
Right.
So he has this overhead, doesn't combo anything, but hit the throw button afterwards.
So good.
And he also has a low one as well.
Is it a command grab though? Seems like it.
And I'm sure we'll come back to those later as well.
Right.
Now let's talk
Christ.
about his special moves. His
Also, he
special
looks
move,
huge
the one that
compared to
kind
like
of
an MK11.
encapsulates what he is Power Strike. He will just throw the axe on the ground, and there it is. You have about 7-8 seconds just to do stuff without the axe, right? You can also call it back. Boom.
Okay.
Now,
Okay,
when
okay.
it's on the ground, different strings. That's back one.
Nice.
Oh, he could
He
combo
also,
using
and I get the
that.
axe back after, of course, doing the command grab.
So all of his axe moves get replaced with different normal attacks.
Yes.
And some are faster, some have different reactions.
Right. And some change some of your other special moves. We'll get to that in a second.
Even his throw changes.
Yes, even his throw. So here's his throw. While we're at it, let's just show the, Motaro as well. And then with the axe, he just bangs in the face with the axe.
Right.
Jesus.
Other specials he has. So you can huge. That was the meter burn. I got a full screen projectile. Now, if you're close, you can. Sorry about that. You can do some of this.
Pops up. Nice.
Right. He has a buff. This makes your axe powers do more damage. You can also
Okay.
EX that to get more time on it as well.
Okay.
big move in his arsenal that also leads to a lot of crazy good damage is his armored launcher is his knee.
Just kind of representing, kind of makes me think of the MK3 like up shoulder, except now it's a knee.
Right, and you can throw that out a lot of places. Always there. But if you EX the knee, you get a free power slam after that. So you can do like
Oh,
Okay.
and then his axe is on the ground again.
Okay.
So that's how you rotate throughout the character, right? And now it's on the ground, now it's back to me. So then you can start doing really cool stuff like this into power slam, back into that.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty nice chunky combo.
And
Easy
now
bread
you
and
have
butter
the
right
axe
there.
back.
Right. When the axe is on the ground, other cool things can happen. Power slam. Now, I have a ground pound.
Neat.
Now, here's the interesting thing. When you are on the axe, it is an overhead low,
Okay.
which is
Overhead
kind of
low.
tough to block.
Yeah.
You can also, throw this down, do this.
It should be so basically unblockable.
And
Combo
that's like
after
a
it.
quick recall.
Right. Yeah, so if you have it down, you also have a move where you can just be near it, and it's very fast slash.
Okay.
So a lot of really cool stuff you can do.
And he's clearly meant to be going in and out during
Yes.
the fight, in the middle of combos, getting it back at the end of combos.
Maybe recalling it if you want to.
Right.
Lots of stuff like that. But if you are, as my opponent, near the axe, there's a lot of stuff you need to think about.
Right. So it's almost like with the axe, you have, kind of really good range, not the quickest moves. Without the axe, you're much quicker, and
Yes.
you can use it, establish the axe on the screen, and they're going to have to respect it, and that's going to kind of open up your grabs, your mix-ups, stuff like that.
And it's super cool. You can also, he also, has some, can pick stuff out of the air and that sort of thing. I mean, the knee into power strike is huge.
Right.
Right. Really important. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I do want to show some stuff with Motaro.
Okay.
So Motaro has a couple things you can use. Now, obviously, I'm a big guy. Projectiles might scare me.
Right.
Well, I can do this. I can pull them out, walk behind it. You don't want to be throwing projectiles at it.
That's so
That
good.
will reflect. And I'm walking it down.
Lasts for a long time too.
I love that, that's a way to call back to his thick reflect skin from
Right.
MK3.
And now you're kind of you're a little confused. What do you do? Boom, you're
Nice.
He also has this turret he can do. Will shoot 3 shots at you. Has a low one too. He can do that. Now here is something that I've chosen Motaro with General SHAO for a reason.
Okay.
Remember this move?
Yes.
Can't do a lot out of it.
Right.
He has this teleport, right?
Okay.
Which maybe you can read a projectile, maybe not.
Wait.
But you can move around the battlefield quicker
Wait.
than General
Right.
SHAO. But with this overhead, I can teleport and still
That's a
continue a
true
combo.
combo.
Just
It's a
like
true
Kung
combo.
Lao.
So now you have to worry about this, and you have to worry about something like this. Like that's now in play.
Right.
So you can do the full thing too. You can do like
What a cool example of one of my favorite things about the cameo system. It
Right.
allows you to break the rules and restrictions of your roster.
And I think
character.
that's why I love SHAO so much, is that he breaks the rules also with the knee into power slam.
Right.
It's a special into a special, which Johnny can do too. Of course, he breaks that rule at times with his meter, with his height meter. But yeah, there's a lot of cool, fun, sort of breaking the meta of what SHAO is, just so you can do with that.
And
Really
I think
cool.
it's so neat about the cameo system. You kind of look at your play style, look at your character, and think, what are my weaknesses? What are the things I think I'm missing? And you can use your cameo to turn those weaknesses into strengths.
And for me, it's like if I'm so far away from people, just as a zoner, just even having this just to get me out of dodge, right?
Right.
Now I'm close again.
Teleport,
now
yeah.
you don't want to be there. Let's show the. Oh, we need to turn up to do the.
Yeah, give yourself 1%.
Let's do that real quick. Show the fatal blow.
It's a real good one.
Drops it from the sky.
Oh, that looks a bit slow. It's gonna be hard to combo into.
Oh, he's not horsing around.
Oh, go by.
Ow. Jesus.
General SHAO.
Pretty cool.
Super fun. I've had a really good time playing with them. Just a different style of fighting, different than you're used to for General Shao.
I want to
Right.
see him use SHAO KAHN.
Yeah, and I think it's really neat. You know,
against
we also
Garrett.
showed Geras having these big brute characters who you might think is like, oh, they're brain dead brawlers or whatever. And no, in this game, no, they're not. They're definitely, you know, really interesting, nuanced characters. It's really cool.
Or they can just swing an axe as hard as they want.
Or you could just do back to over and over again and do throws.
Right, and that's also
Right.
a fun way to play. But before we go, I think we have a fight from QA.
We do.
We would love to show you.
This
Between
would be a fun
It's
one.
gonna be a really cool one. So we'll show you that. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Who against who is the question? Ooh, we got some Baraka gameplay up in
General and
here.
Baraka. This is no nuance needed.
No, these are our two monster brawler guys. They love to fight. They're nasty. So we've got Baraka with Stryker
Leaves his blades in the ground, regrows blades. Awesome.
and SHAO with Motaro. I have no idea why Stryker would be working with Baraka, but you don't always have to follow the lore. Ooh.
12 hits, 32
Lifts that
damage
overhead.
already.
Power slam.
Let's see if SHAO keeps him in the corner. Nope, switches sides.
Now you can with that move choose which way you want to go.
Right.
Like what he did there. Okay, good to know. Pop up overhead.
Big stab, shish kebab. Back to playing in neutral.
That big jump stomp that Baraka does is very funny.
Yes. Oh, this is gonna be big.
Oh,
Notice how he had his knee with a pop up without the axe in his hand, without any means.
yeah.
Forgot to block the second part of that fatal blow, the low. That's tricky. Paid for it.
It looked like he was blocking low too.
All right, let's see. One way to look at it is at least Baraka no longer has his fatal blow. Good jump attack.
Fishing for some throws, got him punished.
Ooh, breaker.
Big break. That was going to put the axe on the ground and lead to some damage.
I love that his breaker is just a big hind kick. It's so exciting to see Motaro back. You know, he's a character that makes very, very few appearances. Like, I've always wanted him back. Very exciting.
Ooh. You saw earlier he hit the back two twice, but he will do it again.
Yes. Sometimes you got to do it again. The no mix-up, mix-up.
Ooh.
Big overhead.
Very quick overhead when the axe is in the ground.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. There could be matchups where it's better to not use your axe as much, have axeless be the main way you fight if they're a faster character, maybe like a Liu Kang or something. Another breaker. They take 3 bars in this game, and I think one thing a lot of people forget is your cameo has to be available.
And notice when he breaks right then, right before power strike, his axe is staying to the ground.
This is a close one. Oh, really good punish. Gets the turn out. Nice.
Oh, that almost comboed into it.
That'll be it. Let's see what he's gonna do.
Nice, we get a
This
Motaro
looks
fatality.
dangerous for Baraka.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Well, that didn't go well for Baraka.
Melted.
That's a bummer.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We love to hear what you think on Twitter, what you think
Yeah.
about the characters and whatnot.
It's a sick fatality.
For myself and Stephanie, we will see you next time on the Combat Cast.
Nice. That was great. That was great. Ladies and gentlemen, honestly, I really dig the new Rain that we're going to be getting. Hopefully, he ends up being a lot of fun. At first, I thought he was just going to be like a Zony type character. Like, he's just distance. But in the end, he uses zones in combos. So, like, he has so many large strings with, like, so much hit range that I think he's going to have a lot of potential. But, of course, Sindel, SHAO KAHN, they both look amazing as well. Even SHAO KAHN himself, as for a big guy, he looks like he's going to have a bunch of combos. And I cannot wait to use him as well. The way Tyler played him, it makes me want to play him. He looks very cool. He looks unique. And like I said, I just can't wait to play all these characters, man. Doing combos for them is going to be a whole lot of fun. And then you also have the mix-up with cameos, too. Jesus Christ. This game's looking better every single day. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.